Hello to my fellow curious minds. Welcome back. This is Anand here, and you are watching Journey of a Curious Mind. In the last two episodes, we were trying to understand the state of astrology in the world of science through an analogy with quantum mechanics. And to achieve this understanding, we used Flatland thought experiment and Occam's razor. Before watching this video episode, it is mandatory to watch previous episodes to understand my perspective properly. So if you have not watched, please watch it. Now, whenever you want to give your opinion about something, it is only right to give your opinion after understanding it as much as possible. So in this episode, we will see astrology in brief, the Indian astrology. For that, we will see these four topics: predictions, retrodictions, inertial frame of life, components of change, spooky observation, the when component. So, since astrology is very ancient practice, there are a lot of things that are introduced at various times that are either superstitions or contradictory to the basic principles of astrology itself. We will only see what really matters in astrology and what matters for our investigation to come up with an approach to test astrology. Now, what comes to our mind when we think of astrology? Predictions and retrodictions. What are predictions and retrodictions? It is about telling the events, that is the change in state of your life, both in future and in past. So future, this change in state of your life, the events in future we call as predictions. If I am going to tell about the events in past, then we can call it retrodictions. So in other words, I could say events disturbing your inertial frame of life. Example, foreign travel, getting married, getting disease, suddenly earning millions of dollars. All these things change the parameters of your life. So when the parameters of life changes, your perspective changes. The way you think and decide changes. This is very important to understand because this is what astrology focuses on. The change in state of your life, that is called as events, and those events are what astrology try to predict and retrodict. So these changes contains three components: the subject component, the when component, and the what component. For example, if I say you can earn in millions in 2030, that is in 2030 you can earn in millions. Here 2030 is the when component, earning is the what component, millions is just the more details of that what component. Here you is the subject. This subject itself can be anything, a non-living or a living. Non-living meaning it can be a organization like a political party or a company, or it can be a place like a country. It can be simply a object or an idea, anything. And living, you can see, let's say, like humans and every other living things. Before we discuss more on this, how this prediction itself is made, I want to ask you a question here. Do you know of any practice like astrology that can tell about your past and future with when component? In astrology, theoretically, there is no limit to the accuracy of when component in prediction. It can be narrowed down to seconds or even less than that. But as we discussed in the first episode, we have bottleneck in terms of ability to understand and predict to that level. Reason for this bottleneck you will know in future episodes. No one knows about you better than yourself. So can you predict something about you in future with details of when and what? Even I cannot do that. I cannot tell what I will be doing a month from now or a year from now in future. In fact, if you would have asked me 2 months back what I will be doing now, making YouTube videos will not even be in my list. Such is the complexity we are dealing with. And when we bring in astrology, I am able to say things about me and my friends, narrowing down to period of months. The argument is very simple. Without astrology, my prediction success percentage is 0. With astrology, my prediction success percentage is, let's say, 10%, which is actually low compared to my actual prediction success percentage. But the point is, the astrology prediction success percentage is always better than my prediction success percentage without using astrology. Now some people might think then we can use this as a test for astrology, but it cannot be a proper test even if my astrology prediction success percentage is 100%. We have discussed why in the episode 1 and 2. When I say predictions, it should contain both when and what. I emphasize on when here, and when and what combined is what make astrology more spooky, because mere statistics can make success percentage to increase, but having the when component is a total game changer. Especially if you know how this when component is derived, then we will know such a statistics is practically not possible. The number of options you have for what is less, and statistics can manage that without when. But the number of options you have for when is theoretically infinite. Example of what? Like for example, marriage, education, job, child, birth, death. You can add any, like let's say you can add some 1,000 more items also to what can happen in your life. Now if I have to say when for each of those what, there are theoretically infinite number of instances in which those what can happen. Practically, astrologer on seeing a chart has to choose from a very large number of possibility with when and what combined. Hope you see this as a reason for bottleneck of astrologer capability here. But there is more to this bottleneck. We will discuss that in future episodes. In the next episode, we will see how these predictions are derived. A big thanks to all the curious minds for watching this video. Your support is needed for me to continue doing this. So please like, share and subscribe this channel. See you on next video. Thank you and love you all. Bye.